We've got a market alert here. Bitcoin exchange NiceHash, as it's called, which hackers plundered yesterday, just sent out an urgent to its users. They will have a Facebook live stream in about 9 minutes, giving an update on the situation. See, this is what scares Bitcoin bulls and bears. $70 million worth of Bitcoin disappeared from that exchange in the blink of an eye, but that has not stopped the bulls, certainly. The cryptocurrency is red hot. Look at the price right now, 15,510. It is even traded on some exchanges above 19,000. Wolfgang Koester is a currency expert, the CEO of Fireapps, here to predict what 2018 will bring for cyber currencies. And you are predicting that an entire nation may start using it as their sole currency. Let's talk about who you predict will be first.
All right, so absolutely. Already Putin came out and, for example, said that Russia is going to do it. Venezuela came out. They said they're going to have their own digital currency. I absolutely predict that the United States within 2018 will issue their own federal or digital dollar, as I would call it.
Russia. Okay. Would that mean that eventually you wouldn't use paper rubles anymore?
That's absolutely correct. And actually, it's interesting because when you think about the cryptocurrencies such as the Bitcoin, they were actually done to actually hide transactions and to make them not so transparent, yet try to make them secure, which is an interesting point, as you just pointed out before. But actually, Putin has come out and said, if we, the government, any government who issues their ledger, actually can watch all transactions, is actually going to increase taxation and decrease fraud and actually increase transparency, because the government, the owner of that ledger, will have complete visibility into all transactions within the ruble in that case, or later on within the US dollar.
Well, then wouldn't it make sense to invest in the ledger, which is called blockchain, versus investing in Bitcoins, which can get stolen? It just seems that eventually when these start to become publicly traded in ETFs or actual names of companies, I'd go with the ledger if that's the case.
Absolutely correct. But this is what everybody is doing. Actually, in order to issue those currencies for the Federal Reserve, for example, they will come out with their own version of blockchain. And that's what everybody needs to understand. They will have their private part. And the reason that the United States is going to be a little bit longer in this is because they're going to take their time to ensure that these holes, like just happened with that $70 million loss or theft, really, will not happen for the Federal Reserve, because that would be lack of trust, and it would be a disaster. So they're working on it as we speak.
At 1,400% to the upside this year alone, a meteoric rise. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, when it first started, I believe about in 2010, it was 28 cents. An incredible investment. But there's still this big question. There is a demand, but is there a need right now, Wolfgang?
And there absolutely is and will be. So what has actually done and what's going to happen is going to first come on the financial institutions and then the companies, is that really transactions, if you're transferring from one bank to another, takes 2 days. What's going to happen with this digital currency, these things are going to be immediate. And what's going to happen for that is Treasury and Finance Department of corporations, whom I'm talking to on a daily basis, now even at CEOs levels who are really thinking about this and discussing it, certainly CFO levels, is that they're all saying, what do we need to do? And what they need to do is they need to get into the 21st century and have complete automation of these processes that are anything related to liquidity. It is absolutely impossible within the next 12 months for a corporation to sit there and say, I've got manual processes and Excel spreadsheets. It will be gone.
Oh, boy. All right. So I saved my old French francs as sort of a nostalgic thing. I guess I should save dollars or certainly rubles. Thank you very much, Wolfgang.
Absolutely.
Let's see if your predictions come true.